Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a GameStop presentation. We're here with the very first game of the Canberra Dota 2 tournament over in at the Barracks Land Cafe in Civic. The two teams will be Freedom Isn't Free versus Omega Squadron, and this will be a one-game series to determine who goes up against Rad tomorrow morning. My name is Coldblood, and joining me is Cathified. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you, Coldblood?
Great. I almost said calcified, which doesn't make too much sense.
Just think it's like the word satisfied, but cathified.
Cathified.
So, yeah, cathified.
So you aim to cathify.
Yeah, I aim to cathify. After at the end of the broadcast, I'll be like, "And you guys are being cathified," or
Alright,
something like that.
I'll look forward to that at the end. Eh?
I remember.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and jump into. Yep, we'll go into the hero selection here. Between now, which you said one of these teams was the favourites. Which one was that?
I think Omega Squadron. Are they the one of the top-rated teams, I believe, in this tournament?
Oh well, we'll have to see how they go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to remember who won A and U. I think Rads was one of the teams in the finals there, if I'm not mistaken. So whoever goes up, whoever wins this game, will be going up against a very highly seeded team. So hopefully Omega Squadron are as good as you say, or hopefully Freedom Isn't Free have something up their sleeves for us. Invoker, Batrider, Lycan, and Doom all banned out. Very standard, I would say.
Yeah, do you think we'll see a Tinker pick up?
We could. I'm noticing that Skywrath Mage and Faceless Void are both open. They've been very popular lately.
And Rasta as well.
Yes. The Shadow Shaman, for those who did not play the Dotes one.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
There is a few of them.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman SS.
Yeah. 4 seconds of CC at level 2, very balanced. So, good stuff.
No, people think Shadow Shaman's going to get a nerf. That Ether Shock does so much damage.
Yeah, big burst. And every time you level up, it does give you more targets ahead. Ancient Apparition has slipped through, which always opens the possibility of a global strat with that Ice Blast that he packs. And then, of course, the Chilling Touch means that if he was comboed with a Lycan, the right clicks would be very devastating. So, of course, Lycan has been taken out of the pool already. What are Omega Squadron going to pick in response to this? Another support pick would be very safe. Maybe something like the Earthshaker or the previously mentioned Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, that's what we tend to see in TI and stuff like that. The support's getting picked up first, and they're sort of saving their carry picks till later. Ah, but Razor. Okay, so I think this might be their mid hero.
Yeah, he's a very safe mid laner to pick up early. The only one who can really contend with him is a Viper, and they both of those are obnoxious as heck to go up against in the mid lane. So they're leaving the safe lane and the off lane picks until later on in their draft. I'd be surprised if they don't pick up a support here. No? Okay.
Offlane, maybe.
Okay, so already a lot of AoE potential just from the first two picks. Yeah, like you say, Tidehunter probably going to be going off lane. He can have some very difficult matchups though. So it's interesting that they pick him this early on. And I'm wondering if this will signal a Rubik pickup for Freedom Isn't Free.
I'm surprised the Void hasn't been taken. Void's been very popular these days.
Yeah, I mean, well, against Razor and Tidehunter, they're both fairly low-range heroes. They do have spells that give them a bit of relevance at longer ranges, but primarily they want to get up close and personal, so the Faceless Void would be awesome.
Especially with the Ancient Apparition as well, you can Ice Blast into the Chrono.
Yes.
You can land it.
Yeah, makes killing people and getting them to shatter very easy indeed. What do our American friends have planned for us? They're throwing out a lot of stereotypical American phrases in the lobby. Tomorrow we'll probably meet them and they won't be American. But they're saying freedom isn't free. I wonder if that's philosophical.
Alright, an Ogre Magi pickup. That's kind of thrown me off here. Wasn't expecting that.
Okay, so a lot of damage. We could see the Ogre Magi potentially mid or off lane, as he scales very well with items until the BKB start coming out. But more likely he will be a support, which means not a lot of reliable lockdown. They've got the Fire Blast and they've got the Cold Feet, but neither of those are really fantastic at setting up for kills. But
I actually think that the Cold Feet, the Ancient Apparitions one, if you stun with the Ogre, that means Ancient Apparitions one's going to land if you cast them both at the same time.
yeah, if they layer it perfectly, I think they actually could. Yeah.
Yeah, so it could be 2 stuns, but yeah, that does require some coordination to get it off. But yeah, maybe a tri-lane. Not sure if aggressive or defensive.
Yeah, there is some nice synergy between Chilling Touch and Bloodlust, of course, one being an auto-attack modifier, the other one making you attack faster. Our second round of bans are coming. Some AoE Wombo combo here has been taken out of the pool in the Enigma, and the Faceless Void. Skywrath's still available, and particularly for a Mega Squadron, getting that with the Ravage would be absolutely devastating. There is Ruster taken out of the pool. So yeah, and I really like that ban. They've taken out 2 supports, or a position for Enigma you can consider a support, because that there has to be one of the next picks unless the meta is being changed here by our Mega Squadron. Now, what do they decide to ban out? Both supports have been picked, we assume. So I wonder if it would be a Viper or something like that to ensure the Razor wins the mid lane. Or maybe they could ban out a carry, a late game carry like Luna. No, it is the Viper.
Team pick.
No, I was also semi-expecting maybe a Spectre ban, like a sort of a carry that goes with the global strat that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, Furion's still open. We have to keep that in mind. In this situation, Kath, I'm going to put you on the spot for the second time in a couple of minutes. Freedom isn't free. They're up against a Razor, and it's going to be a hard matchup no matter who is there. Do you go for a tiny IO type deal, or who do you pick into that?
I have no idea. These questions, yeah, I would have no idea how to deal with Razor. I mean,
I think a lot of people would be.
Dodge him.
Yep. He makes melee carries lives absolute hell with the static link. It's very hard for them to break that. Goes through BKB, steals a lot of damage. Weaver has been picked up. We can assume that we'll be going safe lane. Well, I mean, Tide and Weaver, they can both go either off lane or safe lane, but Weaver scales a lot more on items, and Tidehunter likes to be able to move around, so I would assume this is a safe lane Weaver. And the clockwork coming out from Freedom isn't free, and if the clockwork against you is good, you will never be free.
Oh, nice pun there.
I was, yeah, thank you.
I feel like it's a lot of disable on that team, I guess, if you land the cogs or the hook shot and whatnot.
It's an all or nothing type deal at the moment.
Yeah, it's a lot of really dependent on if they land their skills. Do you think we'll see maybe a Death Prophet mid for the Freedom Isn't Free?
That would be a great pick, yeah. That would enable her to just completely avoid the Razor. They're both very fast, the DP and the Razor. So, I mean, I think that would be a great pick, what you say, Kath, but we'll have to see what Freedom Isn't Free decide to go for. Unless this Tide is going into a support role, they're going to have to pick someone here. Earthshaker would be great. Just thinking who else is up that's been very popular lately. Skywrath is also available as well. There's the Rubik. So they actually take it away from Freedom Isn't Free. So the Ravagers will not be spell stolen this day. Fair few decent things for a Mega Squadron to steal. All of Ancient Apparition stuff, Bloodlust, particularly with Weaver, can be quite decent.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of good spells to steal. Yeah. I'm not noticing much else, but a bit of a greeny blue strat going on for the Radiant.
Definitely, and I was going to say reddish white up the top, but Ancient Apparition's about as far away from red as you can get. Okay, so I'm thinking the Death Prophet is a good call here. They could go for a carry, and they definitely want someone with some range. I'm thinking Luna. She goes really well with that Bloodlust of the Ogre Magi. No Slider,
Oh,
okay.
right.
So they're going to try and deal with Razor by getting on top of him and just killing him very quickly. And of
Yeah.
course, amplified damage will reveal Weaver when he Shikuchi's away.
Oh, yes, of course.
So that will be incredibly handy. So it's going to
Can
be...
if he time lapses though, does that get rid of the Slider ulti?
I believe it does, yeah. I don't think it works on the Bounty Hunter ult, but amplified damage, I'm pretty sure it gets rid of it.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll find out anyway. Yeah, I know it doesn't work with the Bounty Hunter one, or maybe it's changed since then. Brewmaster being banned, that's a very smart ban. Well, Brewmaster struggles against Razor, but all around a really strong early to mid-game mid laner can get control of that lane very easily, particularly against auto-attackers like Razor likes to be. And now, Dire ban. It would probably be another support that they would need to be focusing here, unless it's a sneaky offlaner they want to get rid of, like Timbersaw.
Reserve time.
So we've got a lot of AoE on the side of a Mega Squadron. I'm still thinking the Earthshaker would work really well with them. Maybe the Naga Siren, but that would be an incredibly greedy lineup at that point. And Vengeful Spirit, so they are expecting the support. I really like that ban actually, because the magic missile stun could set up for a lot of pain coming out of a Mega Squadron when you've got the telekinesis, the Shikuchi, everything Tidehunter throws out, the static link. I wonder if this means Bat Rider's coming out for Freedom Isn't Free, because Vengeful Spirit, a notorious counter to that.
He's banned.
Oh, is he? Oh, he is too. Right at the start, yeah. It happens almost every game, so you don't think about it. It's just, oh yeah, that's happened again.
Yeah, what about Skyrath though? I'm not sure if he works too well with this lineup.
He likes to have a reliable AoE lockdown to throw his ult down, like Faceless Void, and that's kind of lacking from both teams. Their CC is not the most reliable. Ah, Wraith King.
Ah, is this a support Wraith King that's going to go blink around the place and stuff?
It could be, or he could easily be a position 1 with a Rubik and Tide running around ganking and a Weaver on the off lane. That's very potent telekinesis and the Wraith Fire Blast together. And it does kind of nullify the Bloodlust a lot as well. When the Wraith King goes down, he slows you by a lot. You will not be attacking very quickly at all. So, Freedom Isn't Free. They need a carry who can deal with this. Maybe the Lifestealer could be a potent pickup here with that magic immunity, would be insanely helpful. Although he would struggle against Razor, as we've already pointed out. So this is a tricky one, Kath.
I think there's a good balance between tanky heroes and squishy heroes though on both teams.
Yeah, definitely a bit of beef and then a very squishy backline there. Shadow Fiend, is that a mid? It must be. So, we're going to have Ancient Apparition, Ogre Magi, and the Slider going into a tri-lane together. Will that be an aggressive one? Because that is a lot of damage they can throw out, but not the most reliable of CC. They do have the Fire Blast into the Slider Slam, and I'm wondering if that'll be enough for them. They want to try and shut down this Weaver as well as they can, because Razor's going to be getting an early mech. There's not a whole lot they can do about that unless they get some fantastic smoke ganks off. So the teamfight prowess of a Mega Squadron in the mid lane is going to be very strong. They want to try and knock down that late game if possible. What are you thinking, Kath?
I'm thinking this Wraith King might be going support because he bought a smoke.
That would make a lot of sense. And boots, yeah. So he wants to get up in range for that Wraith Fire. Wants to make the ganks happen so he can get the blink that you mentioned.
Oh, cool. 2 smokes. Wow, these guys are going to be aggressive really early on.
Yep. Definitely makes sense. Shadow Fiend and Weaver, both, you do not want to let them get a good early start. You want to try and keep them down from the word go. So, Freedom Isn't Free have no smokes at the moment.
Oh, should we introduce the teams?
That would be a great idea. So, representing a Mega Squadron here in our Game 1 of the Canberra Dota 2 tournament, ladies and gentlemen, we have Yadig. We'll get the showcase view going on. Yadig on the off-lane Tidehunter. In the mid lane, we will have our Razor player. As soon as I can click him. Jandals, hashtag HonQs. Not quite sure what that means. Our Rubik player will be Climax with the very cool looking hood. What we can assume is the other support will be the Wraith King played by Fidze. And rounding out the Omega Squadron, it is Frosty Flavors on the Weaver.
Alright, and on the Dire team, on the Freedom Isn't Free, oh, I love these American flags here. Okay, so I'm playing, the Slaughter is Bold Eagle. That's kind of fitting, it kind of looks a bit bold, this Slaughter. And then we have Uncle Sam playing the Ancient Apparition, who got Chilling Touch first, so I don't think they're going really aggressive. If they're getting Chilling Touch, not a lot of lockdown. And we have Liberty playing the Ogre, who's picked up Ignite at level 1, which I think, you know, he's done for the damage, because I think it does more damage than his stun.
Yeah.
And over on the mid-roll, in mid we have Shadow Fiend being played by Horizon's Destroy, getting a bit of a harass from Razor there. And in the off-lane we have the Clockwork, Stars and Stripes.
Okay, Stars and Stripes. So Horizons Destroyed is our Shadow Fiend in the mid. And yeah, this Tide Hunter, I'm surprised he started Anchor Smash. I would think Kraken Shell level 1 would be more useful. But we'll see what kind. He's already getting some last hits, so the zoning at top not going too well. They want this Slaughter to get the blink as early as possible. This Shadow Fiend having a lot of trouble in the mid lane. Necro Mastery is going to be countered quite hard by that static link, or that is an awesome looking helm on Jandals as Razor. And meanwhile at the bottom lane, I guess you could say for both teams here, Kat, their off laners, if they can get some XP, they'll be happy. They'd love to get some items, but they're happy just getting XP at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. I think particularly with Clock and Tide, they just want to get some XP, and I think that's going to be easier with Tide because he went boots first, so he's a bit more mobile. And of course, there's this ward up here. I'm not sure if you can see my pings.
That one.
Yeah, we've got a ward up there, so you can see if they try to come through and rotate and go on him, but I don't think they're going to be that aggressive. And we can see down the bottom they're also trying to do a stack pull. I think they missed the first wave because you've got these healing trolls here, and I mean it's quite hard to. You just got to aggro them to stack them and not attack them. So, but he's pulling through now, so that's quite important. They need to get that XP because they are tri-laning.
Yeah, nice play by Omega Squadron there. The Fidze and Climax going to start picking up some XP. Now they've got, well, I mean, they had the Telekinesis and the Wraith Fire Blast at level 1. So those smoke ganks we talked about could be devastating. In the mid lane, it's very heavily going in Jandal's favour. He's using that static link perfectly. He's even leveling it up to get as much damage stolen from the Shadow Fiend as possible.
Oh, absolutely. Razor is owning this Shadow Fiend in last hit.
Oh, but there's a smoke at the top lane. It was done in range of that ward. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, First Blood will be picked up by Omega Squadron, so that combo that we talked about, Telekinesis, Wraith Fire Blast, is enough to net them that one. I believe it was Wraith King who even got the kill. And now in the mid lane, will we see action on Jandals? He gets Fire Blast, he gets Cold Feeted, and he should get stunned. Yeah, the Shadow Fiend throwing out his damage as well. He even gets the last hit on the kill, and that is fantastic work by Freedom Isn't Free to get their Shadow Fiend right back in the game, but they sacrificed their Clockwork at the bottom.
So score is 1-1, but I guess it's a bit more devastating to lose your mids, especially after he was doing so well against the Shadow Fiends.
And the enemy mid got the kill as well, whereas the support Wraith King, I mean, it'll accelerate him towards that Blink Dagger and Mjolnir, Blade Mail type of position 4 build they like to go, but you would have preferred that on the Weaver. But First Blood is First Blood.
Apparently people can't hear me in game. Is that going to be...
Oh, okay, you can just look in your options and try and sort that out. Alright, I'll keep up a running commentary while you try and fix that. Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. As the Illusion Rune spawns at the top part of the river, will be grabbed by Jandals. As I believe the illusion... Oh, looks like a gank's going to be coming in. Both of the supports of Omega Squadron will come and get a little bit of revenge, setting up yet more action. I don't think a smoke was used for that either. It was not. And Razor gets that last hit back, so he'll be very happy with that one. So, how's the mic situation going, Kat?
Yeah, oh, can you... I
can
can't
hear
see
you.
myself down the bottom, though. Oh, you can hear me through Skype.
Yeah. Is your open mic on?
Is that mic? Okay, I'll check that.
That's the downside of pulling someone in 2 minutes before a game starts.
Yeah, it's on. No, sorry. It's still not. Oh, there we go. I can see myself down the bottom right-hand side. I think Wraith King just tallied back to the T2. Is he going into the jungle?
He's picked up a few words. There's the smoke.
Smoking.
Yeah, they got a gank off on Shadow Fiend in the mid without using the smoke. And now they will be using that second one they got at the start to try and make a return trip.
And they both have boots, so hopefully this they can be quite aggressive and they can really get in there.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend sitting at about 3/4 of his health. But he does have full bottle charges. They're just waiting very patiently up at the top. I don't believe that ward spotted them from Freedom Isn't Free. Are they going to rotate top? No, they're waiting for the perfect time. Now they come in, and the Wraith Fire Blast goes off. Telekinesis will knock him up. Static Link stealing the damage. The Plasma Coil will burst down Shadow Fiend, and now Wraith King gets his second kill of the game. And Mega Squadron doing fantastically with their support duo. 2-0-1 on the Wraith King. 0-0-3 on the Rubik.
Yeah,
and a haste rune spawns for them as well.
Yeah, oh, perfect, he can fill up his bottle. What do you think of this ward down here on the low ground?
Oh. Maybe it's because Shadow Fiend's being pushed into his tower, they're probably going to wait around that area to wait for the opportunity to smoke, so it may catch them, but it might that may be as far as Horizons wanted to venture towards the rune before getting back to the lane. Like, he wanted to waste as little time as possible.
Yeah, and you can see with the last hits that I think Weaver's now coming first in the last hits. I think Slider's having a bit of trouble because Tidehunter's coming up and using his AoE Anchor Smash, which is a bit annoying for the Slider, and Clock can't quite do the same thing to the Weaver because Weaver's obviously ranged. He can last hit better like that.
Geminate attack helps a lot with that as well. Every 6 seconds throwing out an extra attack. So we're getting our latency issues solved here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have a look at the net worth here as soon as I bring it up. So 3,300 on our Weaver, 2,900 on the Razor. So Omega Squadron looking fantastic on the heroes that they want that on. Mech well on the way for Jandals. Lincoln's well on the way for Frosty Flavors on the Weaver. Slider's doing okay, but like you say, not doing nearly as well as you'd expect against the Tidehunter, although Anchor Smash makes it very difficult for him to trade. And it's unfortunate for Slider that he's forced to go for all these little items because it delays that blink, which he really likes to start getting into the game.
Absolutely. Do you think Clock is going to need a bottle crate? Because we've got 2 bottles on the team. We've got Shadow Fiend and Clock. Both have bottles.
Yeah, well, they may be trying... Oh, meanwhile, up at the top, looks like Slider does go down. He was sitting at about 20% health during that pause, so the Omega Squadron support's definitely pulling their weight, and then some at the moment. They're just going to hang around for the time being. Yeah, so the double bottle here, it may be to try and wrest some control of that bottom rune away, but with how much damage there was on the side of the Omega bottom lane, never mind. There is a lot of aggression going on to Fidzer. Does get stunned up, but it does... No, it was Tidehunter that picked the last one up there. The Shadow Rays comes out of Horizons 1 for 1. Thus far, Static Link is off, but that is a hasted up Lightning Man, and he's going to get a double kill with that movement speed. Telekinesis on Bold Eagle as well, and ends up being a 4 for 1 triple kill going the way of the Razor. And things going from bad to worse for our American friends.
Yeah, I think Omega Squadron is sitting quite comfortably here. I'm going to have a look at the graphs, the XP and gold graphs. Yeah, they're both in favour of Omega Squadron.
Tell them the story of the game.
Yeah, it's cute. The initials or whatever. It's like, oh my god! It's like OMG. Omega.
Omega. Maybe that's intentional. I think they've got a stormtrooper as their thing. Fair enough. So Mech finished at 8 minutes and 40 seconds for Jandals on the Razor, having a wonderful game, and he will be able to steal the damage away from the Slardar as it goes in. Now, Clockwork almost has his ult, and just as I say that, Stars and Stripes picks it up. We need to see him start becoming involved in the map.
Yeah, with that hookshot now he can go around ganking people.
He's got 2 levels in the battery assault, 2 levels in the power cogs, 6 seconds of locking someone in a death match with you. As again trying to solve the latency issues. As, Canberra doesn't have NBN, poor us. Oh, there we go. These pauses are nice and quick.
Yeah.
Which is good stuff.
Alright, we've got a pull going on down bottom.
I like how Fidze, as soon as he died in that aggression that he started, he goes straight to the bottom lane while his team cleans up at top. Just starts getting back to his job, and Weaver free farming at the bot. 59 last hits to the 9 of the Clockwork, which you would expect. I mean, Weaver's difficult to deal with, as anyone really. Except maybe.
The clock will target.
Oh, Liberty at top is going to be engaged upon. Spell Steal will take the level 2 Fire Blast. Tidehunter gets the last hit there. Only needs 100 gold for his Blink Dagger, and the top T1 is quickly falling. The first of the structures will become a casualty here, and they're going on strong. They've got the Vampiric Aura, which are not doing too much, arguably, at the moment. But that mech means that they can push very, very hard. Blink Dagger coming out for your dog now. Meanwhile, Freedom is Free going to try and get their own push going in the mid. And it's interesting that Weaver hasn't gone for the Hand of Midas with this free farm he's getting. Maybe he wants a mid-game spike rather than the late-game investment.
Yeah, it does certainly look like they want to win in the mid-game. And also, I think the Omega Squadron there, it might be going for an initiate heavy team. Do you think the Rubik is...
Oh, hookshot lands onto Fidze as the Wraith King, but Stars and Stripes is in a little bit over his head. Get Telekinesis up. The rest of Freedom is Free coming in. He's going to try and use the cogs to zone out, and Fidze ends up going down. Those cogs were in a fantastic spot. Mega kill streak picked up by Razor Jandals, and he is taking the damage of the Ogre Magi away. Starts whacking at the poor Fishman, and a triple will be rounded out by taking down the Ancient Apparition. Once again, Fidze trades his life for a triple kill on the Razor, and just as you were saying, the engage from Freedom isn't free, Kath. They bite off a little bit more than they can chew.
Absolutely, and it's a shame the Wraith King didn't have his reincarnate. He's only level 5.
Oh, his presence in that fight would have been so much higher if he did. And even so, he just I think he started the fight by getting caught out. But his team was far ahead enough that they could come in. They didn't need the Ravage for that. They did use the Razor ult, which a Razor who's ahead, his Eye of the Storm decimates people. And then softens them up so it decimates even harder.
Yeah, it looks like there's a bit of a push going on this tower down here. Yeah, we've got 3 heroes in the Radiant pushing, and yeah, Guy just couldn't defend it. They didn't even use the fort.
Yeah, probably no point at that time, because Tidehunter could come in with the Ravage, although it doesn't have any mana. But as far as they knew, the Tidehunter ult was there. Spell Steal's up on Rubik, and Razor, he's got a lot of presence right now. Going towards the Aghanim Scepter, I believe, for more pushing power. So Omega Squadron, they want to capitalize on this mid-game advantage they've got. Because you're pointing out the engage from Freedom is Friendly is very strong, but if they engage into a fight that they're 100% going to lose, there's not a lot they can do. They've got no recovery Midases, they don't have much farm either. Fidze's going to get jumped on, but a nice stun out of the Rubik there. The AoE stun from Telekinesis will save Fidze. Reincarnation is not available. Spell Steal takes the Battery Assault. Not the most useful spell for Rubik, but now Stars and Stripes, he gets gushed up by Tidehunter. Going to try and use the cogs to escape. Meanwhile, Razor takes down Slardar off to the side, and Climax will take down Stars and Stripes in the end. 2 for 0 with Freedom is free, still trying to get their engage off. Roshan going to be annoyed by the Plasma Coil, and Frosty Flavors still farming up a Storm at the bottom lane. This may be all she wrote for this game already, Kathy. You were saying a Mega Squadron, the favourites coming in, and they are definitely looking like it.
Yeah, and I think the Dire were quite desperate to get a kill off in the jungle. They probably just committed too much and got a bit split up. And
Blink Ravage will come in. Horizons goes down. Bold Eagle will fall. So will Liberty. The United States of America falling where they stand to a Mega Squadron, which I'm not sure where are they from, Kath? Quick.
I'm not sure. I have to look it up. I thought they were.
No, you have to make something up.
They can't be from Sydney. From Sydney, though, right? They must be
No, I meant like a Mega Squadron isn't like, are they from Russia?
Oh.
That was a joke. I took
obviously
far too far.
From China.
China. Okay, so our Chinese brethren taking on the Americans and winning with high efficiency in their fights. 9-1-4 on Jandals. And he did get killed early on by the only successful roam out of Freedom is free, and then his supports turn that right back on its head. Aghanim's coming out for Climax as well. DD Rune on Jandals as the Razor. What other items are coming up? Lincoln's is finished on Frosty Flavors. How is our Wraith King doing? He is about 800 away from a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, he went his power treads first. I thought it was going to go straight Blink, but maybe they just fire ahead enough that he's comfortable that he can get his Blink later. Do you think this is a Roshan coming out for the Mega Squadron? No, they want to keep pushing, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think they need to risk a Roshan at this point, because the AoE potential from Freedom Isn't Free is still quite strong. And they don't have Ravage available. They also had the Amplify damage on them, so they knew they were revealed. But yeah, at this point, there's no point threatening a Roshan when they can just continue pushing and deny as much as possible from Freedom Isn't Free to keep them down. As Frosty Flavors can freely push at this point and almost always get out.
Yeah, it's a shame the two Dire supports are still level 5. They have such good ultis, the Ice Blast and the multicast, but they still haven't had the opportunity to get them up.
Yeah, they haven't done nearly as much as the other team. There we go, the blink in from the Tide Hunter, and there will be the Wraith Fire Blast. Liberty just trying to get his ultimate, like you say, Kath, but when you've got a roaming death squad of goons, there's not a lot that you can do. Bold Eagle will be going down to Frosty Flavors there. The Chinese Weaver, probably not even from China, but we'll roll with it. As yeah, he's keeping 3 red members down where he is at the bot. Meanwhile, the top tier 2, the last structure outside of Freedom's base, will be very, well, not too quickly, but it will steadily fall down.
Yeah, they can't come out and defend it. And did you see that he dropped his he dropped some item to use his arcane boots? I think that a bit of TI.
Okay.
They drop like an item so their like mana goes down or something. I don't know how it works, but it's like a TI thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, my boyfriend's like, you don't even know what it does. I'm sorry.
I know that you can, when you're axe, you can drop your trank boots, do the camp, and then pick them up, and you've got the regen.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. You get more mana out of it.
Yep, because you've got a lower mana pool, and it gives I'm not sure. We sound like we kind of know what we're talking about. That's good enough. Yeah. Okay, so
no push going on here. We've got Weaver down bottom, and the rest of the team up top.
Yeah, Freedom is free. They can't leave their base at this point. They do have multicast now, but they're a fair bit away from Uncle Sam having his Ice Blast, and he's still trying to work on that Urn of Shadows. Poor Freedom Isn't Free, lagging.
And Weaver was kind of owning this Slider down bottom. Slider tried to engage with the Weaver, of course, because Slider his ulti counters the invis, but you know, just time lapse, and then there you go. Slider's going back to base to heal while Weaver's still on most of his health.
Yeah, the amount of stats that Lincoln Sphere gives and how well Weaver can use them by darting in and out with the health from the strength, the damage from the agility, and then how much he can do that over and over with the intelligence means that at this point he can just outmaneuver and outdamage the Slaughter, who only has the armlet, so no blink, he's not able to make the engages happen. Can do a fair bit of damage, but at this point it's kind of a pail of water being thrown on a raging inferno.
Yeah, absolutely, and also because the Weaver has a Lincolns, like how is the Slaughter going to pop the Lincolns? He's not going to he's not going to waste his stun popping the Lincolns. So yeah, the ulti just wouldn't latch on the Weaver.
Yeah, and then if they tried to get, you know, a Fire Blast or a Hookshot or something to start that off, he'd be able to block that one. I mean, Hookshot would still work, but then how much resources are you throwing at a Weaver when the rest of his team are banging on the front door at top? And by banging, I mean, you know, breaking it apart. That tower dying very quickly to the Aghanim's Scepter, Eye of the Storm. And Ravage is available. Blink has about 5 seconds left until it can be used. Climax hasn't stolen anything. He has almost his Aghanim Scepter completed. I think we've got the blink ready for Wraith. Oh yeah, it is on him. It's not even being flown, it's already ready. And Reincarnation also available, so Freedom isn't free. I don't think there's a lot they can do here.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course if they're lagging too, they can't really make any plays. I think Shadow Fiend is so important to get his
rolling
stuff off. Yeah, we can also see the clockwork down here. He's looking to hook in. He's probably just waiting for his no, he's probably not waiting for Rocket Flare. He's probably just waiting for a good moment to go in. Would his cogs stop any of the abilities going off? Like, that can't prevent Ravage, can it?
No. Tidehunter would be momentarily stopped by the knockback of the cogs. But, yeah, Ravage will just completely ignore the cogs and goes a very, very large area. So
yeah, absolutely.
This is really nice positioning from a Mega Squadron. They've got the squishy members at the back, and by squishy members I mean the one squishy Rubik is waiting at the back. This is the least attractive engage you could ask for the Clockwork. He cannot go in on this.
Yeah, there's a pretty good draft, I think.
Yes, they did very well. The Razor and the Tidehunter were the first ones picked up, and then they took the Rubik so that there was no, you know, last second try and steal for that one. We're still trying to fix our latency issues. How are we going on the items and everyone else? A bunch of brown boots for Freedom isn't free on their 3 kills. There we go. We will be getting back into it, and the T3 at the top will end up going down. Gets taken down by Jandals. Now the Eye of the Storm whacking away at the racks. And there's the hook shot in, Kath, but the cogs do not follow. There's no mana. There's the Ravage. Hits a lot of members of Freedom. Isn't free. Bold Eagle. He's, well, he tries to armlet toggle, but it is not enough. Uncle Sam slowed by the Reincarnation. Double kill for Climax. That is a 4-0 thus far. Shadow Fiend going to buy it back. No, 5-0.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
A team wipe, and he instantly buys back. But he can't solo defend.
This is not a Shadow Fiend that is scary at all.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, he did not have a good time mid against Razor.
Had a good, you know, minute or two, and then everything from there was downhill.
And have a look at the hero levels. The entire Radiant team
it's looking very green.
Yeah. Like, the support is higher level than the highest level on the Dire team.
Oh, Stars and Stripes. Will he be able to take Climax with him? No, he will not. The mech comes out to save him there, as Jandals will go beyond godlike, taking down the Sludder, and it will be fountain farming at this point. Ice Vortex taken by Rubik. Not too bad at all. There is better things to steal, of course. Ice Blast not even trained for him to steal, and meanwhile Frosty Flavors takes down the tier 3. The bot going to start working on the racks, gets pinged by the Shadow Fiend, but I think what I said earlier, throwing a pail of water into a raging inferno is a pretty good analogy for what's happening here.
Yep.
Oh, hookshot will miss. There's the Lincolns blown by the Fire Blast. The racks being worked on the melee barracks. They will survive for the time being. Time-lapse is still available. I think Desolator is on the way out. No, just a second. Mithril Hammer on the way out to Frosty Flavor. So working on that Deso.
Yeah. Yeah, they're quite rich. They get to buy pretty much whatever they want, while the other team not quite his forms.
Yeah. Don't have nearly as much money, would be fair to say. So we got the Blink coming out for Climax on the Rubik. A very good engaged support item. His counterpart has... No, sorry, not the counterpart. His partner in crime also has one. That is Fidze, who's also lagging. Haste Rune taken by Razor. Here's the Blink and the stun onto Bold Eagle. Does not have the durability to stand toe-to-toe here. Fidze may have gone a little bit too far in. The Tidehunter gets stunned before he can throw out the Ravage. There he goes. Frosty Flavors is on a killing spree. Double kill for the Razor. Again, Fidze will trade himself for 4 kills at this point, including a buyback from the Ogre Magi. And, Ancient Apparition is the only one standing apart from his fellow support, who poured what little gold he had into buying back. I mean, it's not too expensive at this point, so it's kind of okay. But yeah, Frosty Flavor is going to zone them out, and this is almost definitely all she wrote.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, not a lot else we can say. Just very well played by a Mega Squadron. They have that AoE
the
comp.
wing's going to go down. Alright, they got up to 5 kills now.
Excellent. They're not giving up without a fight. The GG's not come out. Spell still. The level 1 Ignite. Can they get saving Private Rubik? They will indeed. Jandals is just destroying everything he looks at this point as the Clockwork gets blinked after by Tidehunter. You dig. On top of Stars and Stripes. Battery Assault not doing a whole heck of a lot. Last auto attack from the Razor with over 200 damage. Double kill for him. What is this, Razor? 15, 1, and 9. He gave first blood. That was his only death.
Oh yeah.
Just goes to
out of control after that.
Just goes to show you the work that Climax and Fidze did. They were
good job on Rubik too. Rubik, the squishiest on the team, hasn't died.
Yes, his positioning has been exquisite. Hasn't made too many big plays after the initial ganks that he did. Been stealing some little stuff. Ogre Magi takes down the Wraith King. Yardig is unstoppable. That's a 2 for 2 thus far. The tier 3 will remain up as the Tidehunter is limping his way out of the base with the Ice Blast ticking away. Hookshot will miss as Frosty Flavors is running up the mid lane, and the base of Freedom isn't free. Is in absolute shambles at the moment with a catapult whacking away at the tier 4, doing a lot of damage to it as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's a ward in their base too, a Radiant Ward, so that's going to help them know where they are.
Oh, Clockwork.
I think this AA is looking to blast the Weaver.
Yeah, I don't think Stars and Stripes will be getting out of this one. He uses the cogs, traps himself with a tree, and there's even a little lobster hanging onto him. Can he possibly escape this one? No, I don't think so. Geminate attack comes out. Didn't even need the second strike there. Frosty Flavors picks up his 5th. Has been very much PvEing for most of this game. Lincolns will absorb the stun from Fire Blast. Blink and Ravage comes out of Yadig. And now Slada joins the fight. Uncle Sam goes down to Frosty Flavors. Time lapse has been used, and Weaver does end up falling. The little bug, will it take down the Bold Eagle? It will indeed. Triple for Frosty Flavors, thanks to that. I think it's called the Swarm.
That's still pretty good. That was like a 5v2 or something.
Yeah. Man, Ravage is a powerful ability.
Yeah, let's see how many points in Kraken Shell he has.
Yeah, max.
It's maxed out. It's too hard to kill him.
It's far too difficult to kill. He's got the Refresher Orb, doesn't have anywhere near the mana pool to use it. The tier 3 will fall in the mid, the rack soon to follow. The tier 4s are getting devastated as well. And I think the game will be ending here soon.
I'm expecting a GG anyway, but they've got Megas now.
They're fighting to their last. They're very stubborn, our American friends here. Stars and Stripes. Don't think he will be escaping this one. Eye of the Storm destroys him where he stands. And, God, Eye of the Storm destroying everything it gets near. Double kill. Fidze gonna blink forward, gets the stun onto Horizons. The Ancient is almost vulnerable as the Fountain Farming continues. Classic Canberra good manners. As Weaver TP's in straight into the base. There he goes. He will now end it. And we will have a Mega Squadron versus Rads tomorrow morning.
Awesome. What time's that game?
9 or 10. I think 9.
Oh man, I hope it's not 9.
We'll have to see. I'll be there nice and early tomorrow morning.
I'm driving down tomorrow. I don't want to have to get up that early.
You can be fashionably late.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, to the very first game of the Canberra Dota 2 tournament. GG World Players coming out from all the players. Hopefully we get to see more from Freedom Isn't Free. Congratulations, Omega Squadron. We'll have to nominate an MVP here. Kath, who are we thinking?
Oh, Razor.
Yeah? You don't think it was the supports that set him up?
Oh, no, the supports did really well. I mean, I guess I'm looking at the levels right now at the score screen, and they're under-leveled. But yeah, really early on they
I'm going to take a guess and say you play carry.
Hey, no, I play support.
Oh, how could you do this to your brothers and sisters?
Yeah, what about you? Who do you think are...
Yeah, I think Climax and Fidze definitely deserve it. Did a phenomenal job early on. Every lane felt their wrath. And then they just kept setting up the plays after that. Well, I think we'll have to give it to Fidze for how much he died for his team. How many triples were picked up by the Razor thanks to him throwing himself or getting caught by a hookshot either way.
Absolutely.
Tomatoes, tomatoes. So thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back tomorrow morning for much more Canberra Dota 2 action. Myself, Coldblood, and Cathified will be there. Have they been Cathified?
Oh yes, I think they've been Cathified, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, meeting you in person.
Okay, have a wonderful Saturday night, ladies and gents. This is Coldblood and Cathified signing out.
Yeah.